Yeah, welcome back to the studio, everybody. Just before we get underway for the first Mixed Open semi-final, I'm delighted. I'm joined by Jay Austin, all the way from the States, and you have just got your black badge for refereeing. It's the elite level, isn't it? Congratulations, Jay.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Has it been a long road?
Yeah, it's been a very long road. I think we're from 1999, from playing until I started refereeing 2003. Here we are.
Now, the black badge is the elite level, level 5, isn't it?
Yes.
How do you go about getting to that level? What are the stages?
Well, you have to start off with your park rugby, and then you move on. You get to go to some international matches. That's your level 3, 4, and 5 from there. And yet it takes a jury of your peers to make sure you get it done.
So, of course, you get caps, don't you? You get international. So, just like players, the referees get international caps.
Yes.
Do you have to get a certain amount of caps before you move up to a certain level? Or, I mean, you said it's judged by a panel of your peers. Is it as simple as that?
It is, yeah.
So
yeah.
That is how it goes through each stage, so 1 through to 5.
Correct.
You think you're ready to go, or do they tell you you're going to get the next step?
No, you have to put in for it. If they ask you, you put in for it, and then they judge you. And if they see their product on the field, then they'll give it to you.
Fantastic. Well, huge congratulations.
Thank you.
You're from Chicago. You're from the Windy City, of course. How popular is the sport of touch in Chicago?
Well, there's only one team in Chicago. We're looking for some more teams to come in our general area. We're working on it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Any more games? I
have one more, yes.
One more. Which game is that?
Don't ask me, because I don't know.
You don't know yet?
Yeah.
There will be another game.
Yeah.
Deservedly so as well. Jay, huge congratulations. Black badge, level 5, now joining the elite ranks, Jay Austin. Thank you. Right,
Thanks,
almost
Ian.
time to get underway for the Mixed Open semi-final. Let's hand over to your commentators.
Cool. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
I have to say, Ben Meakin, my name's Chris Wimmer, by the way. Thanks to Ian for that chat between games. It's always good to hear of touch happening in all corners of the world, and we've certainly got representation here from the Americas, including North and South America here, as well as Scotland, as we can see with Eddie Sanwan, who serenaded the opening ceremony with his bagpipes and has continued to do that.
He loves
the course.
it. He's
he does,
so
doesn't
good
he?
at it. This, I don't think he enjoys playing anymore because he gets to do this.
Yeah.
And this is something about touch. You get all your teams lined up and you run through the tunnel. It is such a special occasion on finals day.
But I have to say that notwithstanding the bagpipes, this is turning into a bit of a disco already. The atmosphere is buzzing, and it's only 20-12.
You're dancing around, you are.
And I've got the Haribo. It's great. Other various jellied sweets are available, but it's only 20-12. So imagine what it's going to be like when we've got a couple of thousand people around this pitch for the men's open final in 6.5 hours' time. But in the meantime, we have got the Mixed Open semi-final between Scotland and Wales. Wales finished second with only 1 loss from their 9 games. That was a thriller against England on Thursday. Scotland finished third in the table. Their 2 losses coming in their round-robin campaign to England, who they lost to on Thursday as well as to Wales, which was on day 1, which they lost 5-8. So this is going to be one where, on paper, you'd have Wales as favourites, but you can't put anything past Scotland, who are, of course, the World Cup bronze medalists from 2019.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is going to be a great game. I think if Wales continue to do what they've done in the group games, then yes, you're right, Chris, that they should go on top, get out on top here. But then Scotland have got some great experience as Wales set up early, a step back. They've got a hole in hole 1, and that is the first score for Wales.
We sort of wanted Scotland to put Wales under pressure, but with Daniel Roberts, the number 10, he's not the scorer, but he has been an absolutely crucial figure in Wales reaching these stages here.
Yeah, they run a sweeper back, so they give the ball back to the dummy half. Dan puts on the brakes, and Nottingham boy Owen Carroll gets over for the first score of this semi-final.
And here comes Scotland. They are the reigning champions as well in 2018. And that's been given as well. And all of a sudden, we are 51 seconds in.
Frantic stuff.
shootout time.
Absolutely. What is defence? And I think that might be the nature of this game. And if we look at this replay here, so I think it's a sweeper. They gets it on the outside. No, there's no pass to the sweeper. The dummy half picks up, goes short side, and throws the ball to 4-on-3. So it's a great start. I think Wales here are going to try and do exactly the same setup they did last time. Owen on the sweeper. They give it to him. He's going to step back. He's going to belly flop to the floor.
It's Cameron Hart who gave that pass. Must have been doing a massive amount of core work in the gym to be able to get that ball going 40 metres, even though it's perfectly dry conditions here in Nottingham. But Wales now, that's the key player.
Yeah, we've got a score. We've got the score.
Daniel Roberts once again. He sends the ball out to the right, and it was the Welsh try scorer Francis Campbell who is unable to stop Wales from going in front once again.
So we do have the shootout. So if we just look at this replay here, Chris, they pretend that they're going to get the dump. They give it back to Dan Roberts. He throws probably the wrong pass, actually. He throws it out to the wing, but that makes the inside ball on, and that is 2-1 Wales.
Lovely handling there. Amberley Ruck with the finish. Great awareness there from the Welsh, and fantastic teamwork. As you say, it's not so much, choosing the wrong option is one thing, it's what you do about it if that happens is another. And hey presto, here comes the dive. No, touch.
We've got a touch.
In his filth there's touch just diving on the way through. Great one for the stills, not for the moving camera. And he's there running a dumb, and it comes right, so it comes left again, this time from Callum Streenan. But this time Wales have held out. The ball died a little bit as well.
Yeah, so Scotland tried to finish off with their last touch by going short side again on away from the sweeper. The far side Welsh winger doing really well to just chase that ball out and get the touch before the Scottish could get that ball down.
If you're watching on the quad box, you can see France against England in the other one as well, but we'll just let this game play out, this fifth touch play out from Wales. It's a scoop through, it's run, that's James Ainan, he's taken the scoop and he's fed the ball off on the inside. Kieran Evans is the man on the end as Scotland's defence melts away.
Yeah, so it's just a scoop. He goes short-sided, so he takes the Scottish number 14, Innes Phillip, just short-sided, and he gets to in goal because he can't get caught. And then Wales just escape the Scottish defenders. So we've now got a 3-1 score game here. And Scotland's just been caught at half. And just an update on that England-France game, it is 1-1. So the timings are exactly the same as what we've got here, so it's still 1-1. So we'll keep you updated with that scoreline as well.
That's if you're watching the Field 1 stream. If you're watching the quad box in the middle of 10 hours of uninterrupted touch live from the University of Nottingham, it's the only place where you can see the European Touch Championships. Or watch us back. If you're watching us back on Sunday, then happy hangovers to you.
Dan Roberts with a scoop. Oh, unlucky.
Ross Taylor just fails to grab the ball in, but this is already being played at a frantic pace, this game.
Yeah, absolutely. The driving from both teams are both looking to sub every time. Dan Roberts with a 32 counter steps back short side. He goes in for the score. Does the touch get in by number 4? Luke Bishop makes the touch short side. Good recovery defence there.
Daniel Roberts is the heart of this team, isn't he, in terms of the attacking?
Yeah, absolutely. He's calling everything. You can see him with the ball up to his mouth, trying to filter out what the Scottish can hear with Owen Carroll. Look at that ball. That has gone a long way with so much ease, and that is another score for the Welsh defence.
That was lethargically brilliant, wasn't it?
I think that's probably what you could call Owen Carroll in general life.
Rachel Thomas Evans catches that pass, catches that pass superbly to dot down. So many times at club level in particular, see those balls hitting the deck, but at international level, that's one thing this week, we've seen them stick like glue. And Thomas Evans increases Wales's lead as they start to take firm control with only 5 minutes gone, and we've got another 35 minutes left to play. As Scotland, ball comes inside, Lucy Preston,
good defence by the Welsh,
she gets shut down, it comes back inside, Alan Clephane, and he's looks to be darting through. No, here comes the touch. Wales's defence holds firm. William Smith there on the touch in the middle, number 9. And Wales now drive up their own sideline, bringing fresh players on. keeping the momentum up, putting Scotland onto the back foot. They're over halfway already. Here come the Welsh. Alice Malcolm Wilkinson, and now it's inside. Sir Emilio Grattarola, sorry. He's darted around. Scotland unable to stop him, and he's over for try number 5 for the Welsh.
So that actually started from where the Wales were defending. They defended very well. They got the Scottish. The Scottish couldn't really get to the try line of the Welsh line, and they drove 70 metres and scooped on fifth touch. Everyone went short side, and as you can see, they just little switch back inside, and no one else was underneath. So good score, really, really good score. And already it's starting to look like hard work for Scotland. They've got to put in a lot of effort here.
They are the reigning champions, but they've got had a lot of changes to the team which won that title in 2018. But here they are, they're building up, continuing to play, spreading it right to Ruth Ferguson here on this near side wing.
Scotland are looking to try and get on the outside. They're trying to sweep on the links, and the middles are doing a lot of work to make sure that the dumps aren't on the links, so they're having to chase from left to right. I think if the Scottish could actually just take off on those touching middles, there's a lot of holes through the middle, so I'd like to see them exploit that instead of trying to get on the outside as much.
Douglas Johnson's pass inside just rebounded off a Welsh player, and it then counts as a turnover, not as a fresh set of 6. That's just one subtle rule change, or one subtle rule within touch, is that the ball's got to be played at for the attacking team to retain possession. But here comes the danger man, Daniel Roberts, dictating play once again for the Welsh. They look to go left, but instead they go right. He's got dancing feet, and that came very close to being absolute brilliance from Owen Carroll on the collect. But the ball just hits the deck, just can't control it.
Behind the try line view, Dan Roberts picks up, shimmies, he's in. Does this go down? Does he score it? Oh,
close.
It was interesting. I was talking to a few wingers recently. They were saying that if you've not actually got the ball in 2 hands, the referees aren't giving it, whereas we see in Union and Rugby League where there's downward pressure, we don't really get that in touch currently. So that's definitely a subtlety between the 2 different codes.
And no TMO here either. Here come Wales for the dive. For the dive, that's Reece Lynch going over, but Douglas Johnson's defence for Scotland, superb there, from working really hard to shut the Welsh out.
Had to pull a big corner there, so I'd expect the Welsh to do exactly the same thing, but try and counteract that. No, they go the opposite way. There's another sweeper. Hole 1's open.
Daniel Roberts this time is shut down by the Scots, but he's created more than he's not at the moment, and here he comes again, the Welsh playmaker, back inside, blind pass. This time the Scottish defence is not fooled, and they can clear up their right hand wing, start to bring some fresh players on. We can see them lined up ready to go, and here comes one of them now. That's Catherine McHardy, and now Ross Taylor. And Taylor gets the ball back off the floor. Little interplay with Luke Bishop as Scotland are asking questions of the Welsh defence. Here it comes from Taylor. Outside to McHardy. She finds Ruth Ferguson, but the defender's there. Amy Rees. Fantastic work rate from the Welsh winger. Shuts it down. 6 touch, and that's the turnover for Wales. Wales hold out this time. Scotland are needing to score at least a couple of unanswered tries this side of half-time to keep themselves in contention, you feel. As we saw yesterday, certainly a couple of days ago when Wales played England, Wales were trailing by 4 at half-time and then came on strong in the second half. There's absolutely no doubting their stamina as they bring on some fresh players and they bring on some fresh intensity. Try scorer, Emilio Grattarola. He tries to put some pace on, but Scotland shut it down. 6 touch turnover. Taylor.
That was the first time that the Welsh have subbed on without really a plan, and you could see that they didn't go forward enough, and they should have got back into the middles, but they didn't, and they didn't get as many yards as they did when they were a bit more organised.
Scotland have created
the 3-on-2, pass the ball, should be in, and there's an unanswered score there, Chris.
That was when they brought. That's one thing when he said in terms of Wales sending on subs without a plan. Scotland automatically they sent on Lucy Preston, who we've seen on the far side link, she came on at the near side link, and then all of a sudden you had the overlap there. They're sweeping on further wides, the male players, and it just created that little bit of a mismatch and an overlap.
Male and female players, and that's how they got that overlap.
Meanwhile, over on field 2, England-France is turning into a shootout as well midway through the first half. It's 3-3. There's absolutely nothing to separate them. Those are the teams that finished first and fourth. Wales finished second. Has that gone forward? No, that hasn't. Has that hit the deck? Yes, it has. Scotland will restart from the 7.
Wales are showing a lot here in attack. They've had a lot of success on sweepers, but they didn't score on the last sweeper set, so they've now changed it up, which is something that I don't think they should have done. They should have stuck to sweepers to start to keep on this second half. They went to a 33 short, which is also known as a hammer, and instead of giving the short runner, they gave it back to the dumper, and they couldn't get on the outside. They did have the overlap, but the Scottish winger just shut in there, and the ball was ground. I'd like to see them keep on with those sweepers at the moment, because that's where they've had so much success. But Scotland look to scoot here. Link hole's open, and I think it was a touch and pass.
Yeah, they've given that as a touch and pass. Catherine McHardy just couldn't control the ball, but Scotland's just Ross Taylor and Luke Bishop again combining through the middle channel to ask questions of that Welsh defence. Giving Scotland good momentum. But speaking of that, Wales are now rolling into the Scotland half. A couple of touches still to play. Here comes Grattarola. 5th touch. Wales have got one play to try and create something, and they created that? It's just fantastic defence coming in again from Scotland.
Yeah, the far side link, we'll get her number here, I think it's number 12, Frances Campbell, was just channeling, so the ball had to go over her head to make that touch, and then that gave her enough time to just cover over and make sure that she can make the touch. So it's good defensive there.
Here comes Scotland. They've looked to create that mismatch again on their left hand side. It's the experienced Alex Clefane. He's got the ball back into his hands. He's the half. He can't score. He's going to have to pass the ball to score, and he's done that. And that's a fantastic scoop and score from Scotland. They have scored 2 tries unanswered, and all of a sudden they are back in this at 5-3.
This game changes in a heartbeat, doesn't it? We had Wales on top. They've then changed their attacking move, which I don't think they should have done. Scotland have gone down twice because Wales haven't scored, and they've scored twice, so it's now 5-3, and there's only 2 in it. We have definitely got a ball game.
Ball games all over the University of Highfields Nottingham Sports Complex. It's been a long week. Day 5 of 5, and only midway through it. And Wales going for the dive is Owen Carroll. He's touched on the way to the ground.
Yeah, I was commentating on Owen's dad's game yesterday in the Welsh 45s. There's also his uncles were both playing. He's got 2 of them, so it's a family affair here. His mum's, we've got to step back. Is Owen in? He is. This is superb footwork by Dan Roberts here, and he is casually walking off, knowing that he has done something quite special here. As he steps back, that was very quick replay, but as he stepped back, it created the hole, and he just went through.
There's a quick replay, but not as quick as his footwork.
No, absolutely not.
Roberts says,
"Here we go. Here's the replay." So Owen gives it back to Dan. Dan steps, bam. And then that creates a big hole. Owen walks through it. Good reply. Wales needed that reply. They're now up by 3, and that is ball down by Scotland. Unfortunate there.
Unfortunately, we've lost the score on field 2.
It's so quick out there as well.
It is. It's almost like we could commentate for the quad box on this, couldn't we? As England don't score on that side.
No, it's a Josh Ingram long ball. Yeah.
But here come Wales, though. We'll concentrate on what's actually in front of us as opposed to what's happening elsewhere. That's a 5th touch on Callum Richards. What's interesting is that Scotland is that...
No, did he make the touch?
No. Yes. Amazing defence there from the Welsh.
Oh!
The Scots aren't happy with the touch that then came in from Callum Richards. But what's quite interesting with Scotland are rotating really well between having their male links up against female links. And defending. Just this time it just doesn't come off Frances Campbell. But it's interesting to note that Scotland, when they're defending, they're managing to get female link on female link, and in attack they're having male link on female link. So they're managing to swap that, and Wales aren't doing that.
No, maybe Wales think their women can get on top of their male link, the opposition there, whereas Scotland are really trying to put it. Wales got the outside. Oh, it's just a bad ball there by Kieran Evans. Sorry, so just go back to your point. Yeah, it's the nuance of mixed touch. Normally you're trying to get your male link on the opposition female link, because technically they should try and get around them, but if you've got an athletic link, female link, then they help so much, and you'd look to back them against anyone in this game.
And here come Scotland. They've got one strike play to come.
They had one strike play. They've just lost the count there, Scotland do. The referee put his hand in the air, which signals fifth touch coming. Oh, and coach killer Kieran Evans goes on the outside, who just missed his 2-on-1 near us here. He's just swept round, he's dropped the ball, so Scotland have got another opportunity now to try and get this fourth touch.
I think England have just taken the lead 5-4 in the other semi-final. Both games tapped off at the same time, so there's 3 minutes to play until the hooter. And this one,
we've got a score.
We have got a score. Wales, even though Scotland were playing a metre or so outside of the Welsh line, Wales just weren't able to make that extra couple of inches back, and we are back to a 2-point ball game.
Yeah, we'll just analyse this replay when it comes up. It seemed they were frantic, and it didn't look like Scotland had much of a plan. But as they take this outside, number 6 there just drops. He stumbles, he throws the ball back, dumps the ball. Number 10, who is that? Douglas Johnson just gets the ball back, and he just dots the ball down between the two Welsh defenders.
Here come Wales, building once again, and the dive comes in on the left, and that's given. Is this given?
Referees deliberating.
I think the call is that the touch was made, but potentially by an offside player, and that has been given to Owen Carroll once again.
Yeah, so as the touch was made here, he's gone short side, Owen Carroll, and he got caught just as the pulled corner. Oh, Wales have run this move twice already now, and it's absolutely lovely. So we'll just look at this replay.
Daniel Roberts is, as I say, he's just got that little bit more time and space that some of the,
so if you look at here,
completely.
So Reece Lynch and Dan Roberts actually went to university together. They know themselves inside out, and what they do is they check the ball back inside. They go down, go down. And as the defender starts going towards Reece Lynch, he then checks it back out on a quick play, and there's a 3-on-2, and Wales get in at the link hole.
It's a fantastically simple move that's difficult to execute, isn't it?
Oh, it's so difficult because you've got to have quick hands. You've then got to have the capabilities of stepping out and be thinking about it. Oh, wait, Scotland got an overlap ball down.
7-4 the current score to Wales. We've had a little bit of a technical glitch, but we're catching up with everything now. But more importantly, it's a technical glitch with the score, with the graphics. It's not a technical glitch with being able to watch stuff, because you can't take your eyes off this game as Wales flood the attacking channels once again in the final few seconds of this first half. Scotland scramble and shut things down. James Ainan gets the ball back. One play for Wales before half-time. They're getting the ball wide. Dive comes in, and that's the score, and Wales are going to have a 4-try lead going into the break, and they have scored at exactly the right moment.
That was great heads-up footy there by the Welsh. They didn't get a really good last touch setup, so they had to come from static. He steps in, he takes on short side, he flick out the back into hole 1, and the female link of Scotland couldn't get into that hole to cover it, so great score to finish that first half.
We have got a pair of ball games in the mixed open semi-finals here at the University of Nottingham Highfields Sports Complex. If you're driving past on University Boulevard, slam those brakes on, turn to your left, turn to your right, come and park at the Nottingham Hockey Centre, because we've got some outstanding sport. Wales and Scotland are going toe-to-toe here, with Wales having just scored that crucial extending try at the end of the first half. Meanwhile, on field 2, it's England 6, France 4 in the other one, and we can see on the pictures, if you're on the quad box you can see this as well, but if you're watching field 1, we'll just describe that there's a nice, I think the England team will be a little bit frustrated because they will think they're further ahead, but there's certainly no panic as they're coming off.
No, absolutely not. You know, touch is a 40-minute game, so 20 minutes in and they're already 2 up. I think they'd be quite happy. I know, speaking to actually the Scottish team, the Welsh team and the English team, no one really wanted to play France in this semi-final. I know Dan Roberts was very happy about playing Scotland over France in this semi-final, so it looks like England's got the tougher one. They're doing okay at the moment, but they'll be looking to try and improve on that in the second half.
England trying to overturn more than a decade of history in terms of the mixed open winning the European title, which has been dominated by Wales and Scotland, who are putting on a show, and the show in particular, and talking about no panic. Daniel Roberts, as we've just said in commentary, but I'm just going to reiterate now, he always just seems to have that half-second extra time, and it's like the game slows down around him. I think, has he been... Did he do a theoretical physics or something like that? And with Stephen Hawking's brief history of time, or Einsteinian theory of relativity, because everything slows down when it comes around him.
Good players make touch look so simple, and he actually does make it look so simple. You know, when people are running around, sweating, Dan Roberts has got his hair slicked back still. He's looking good. He makes the right decision 95% of the time. He's calling the moves. Everyone's listening to him. And that's a real key point in what I was just said there. Everyone is listening to him. He's making the decision what they're doing, and everyone actually moves off around him. And that means that everyone is in the right position at the right time.
What we're seeing as well from both teams is the ability to be able to, the timing of the pass in terms of creating. We saw that previous one there from Frances Campbell, where the ball was given out, and she was perfectly well aware of what's going, but it was created by the timing of the pass, and we saw that on that previous switch play from Wales with Grattarola taking the ball off James Aynon. They're just dragging across, and and the brain is working as fast as the hands, and vice versa, and everything just seems to be in sync.
Yeah, absolutely, and that takes hours and hours of practice. Where you talk about 10,000 hours to perfect things, and that's what the Welsh have been doing over the last 6 months to a year. That since we've come out of lockdown, essentially, they've been working together. They've been, hidden away in Welsh camps in probably the rain and the wind and the cold to make sure that they've come to this summer tournament in peak condition.
So you're captain, you're Mr. Coach now, Ben. One thing in attack, one thing in defence for each team.
Okay, so we'll start with Wales because they're ahead at the moment. I would like Wales to just continue doing what they're doing. They don't actually need, in attack especially, they don't need to change anything. They probably need to just shore up their fifth touch. They've got one pod that hasn't made the right decision on fifth touch currently. In defence, they need to stop chasing as much. I think they need to trust their links to make more touches and allow the middles to just be a bit more still in that middle, because that's where the scores are coming from. Scotland, I think they need to keep that movement. They need to keep the movement. They need to go left, and then as soon as that ball goes left, they get the dump, they get the sweeper. Then they need to exploit what the Welsh defence are actually doing at the moment, which they're not doing. And in defence, now this is a real tough one, because I think Wales have played a very, very good attacking game in that first half. I think if they can really take the time off Dan Roberts, that's what we said. Dan has got a lot of time. Go up, kill his time, let him make his decision making at a quicker speed. See if he can do that, and then they should be able to stop that.
Scotland conceded right at the end of the first half, and they're right in attacking mode at the start of the second. They do need to get another try on the board, and of course these teams, it's to the stage where they're going to have a very tough final as well, whoever wins this game, against either England or France. Just one, when will will let this play out for Scotland.
Oh, it's long, it's loopy, it's not the greatest of passes, but good kept it, keeping alive by Scotland's number 12, Francis Campbell.
Yeah, the ball came out from Ross Taylor. Just a quick one. Wales seem to have a different attacking shape when Daniel Roberts is on the field compared to when he's off it. How difficult is that as a defence? Because you have to adjust to what's coming at you as well.
And that's the nuances of touch. Wales are playing with 3 pods, so they'll have 3 different pods, and they'll all show something a bit different. Scotland need to identify who's on the pitch and what their there's a bit of confusion on the pitch. I think there's been a bit of back chat, so Wales have got an extra 10 yards. They need to. The Scotland defence need to identify who's on the pitch and change their defensive policy. They should have 1, 2, 3, even 4 different defensive policies depending on who's on the pitch. Owen just goes short side. I promise you this is going to be a set-up play. So they're going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to call this one. They're going to do exactly the same thing here because they've gone right and now they're going to try and get the ball to go left.
And here it comes. Tony Romo to my right has just called that. And Wales have scored. Seren Carson, she's taken a boot to her foot for her trouble by accident.
It's so simple. It is so simple. And I'd like to see the Scottish defence just do a bit more here. You know, everyone's... Yeah, the Scotland defender just makes the touch. He doesn't really flick and get out. He stops. He allows the outside to be shown. And Reece just gets on the outside and gets in a simple 2-on-1 pass.
Yeah, the ball will always travel quicker than the runner can match, and that's what happened with Ruth Ferguson, who was just unable to get there for Scotland to shut things down. But the Scots are
Quicky
now...
short side scoop, he's through into in goal.
Scotland will not go away quietly into the night. I'm calling you Tony Romo.
Did anyone see that throwback? Jeez.
That's gone fully... I know it's a bit... play ends in American football when it hits the ground, but that's gone fully 40 metres up the field.
All right, Tom
Brady. It's a fantastic throwback, but that was exactly what Scotland needed.
Yeah, absolutely. They've now shown something different. So they've gone quickie after quickie, 33 open side, short side, and this time they've gone for a scoop, and it's paid dividends.
As Wales go and build again, and it's that man, Daniel Roberts, is over again. I'm just going to say, here's one thing for both sets of defence. When the wingers can catch either long or short passes, how, in terms of, we saw that now at both ends, where the defenders are having to cover them and creating space in the middle. How important is that as the game wears on, just for those spaces to be able to exploit?
Yeah, it's massive, because you've got to be able to exploit those spaces, otherwise you just won't get on top here. Just as Scotland go... Oh, great long ball.
We're talking about the importance of catching. That was a fizzing pass from Ross Taylor, and Alice Malcolm Wilkinson's catch. She had to dip down to catch it. She's on her knees. She stretches out. There is nobody there to stop Scotland.
So this is all about Ross Taylor. He actually open side quickies. He gets on the outside of his man. It's a 3-on-2. He's got the long ball. They snipe him, but not quick enough, the Welsh defence, and there's a 3-on-2. And he has got the pass. He's come from men's open to mixed open this year. He has got the pass to unlock this Welsh defence a bit more, and I would like to see that happening a few more times.
Owen Carroll and Daniel Roberts. The pair of lanky.
He is lanky. I know his dad very well and his mum. They're tall, but not that tall. His uncles aren't as tall, so I don't know where he gets it from. We'll have to find out. And short side scoop.
But they've got the talent very much, and we've seen that. And that's great honesty there from Lucy Preston. It's this is a semi-final, and it would be so easy to say, when the referee's saying to you, did you make the touch? To say, yes, I did. But no, this is a game of honesty, and if you're watching at home and are new to the sport, that's the sportsmanship that we like, and that's Reece Lynch, the beneficiary. And Wales are now back up to a 5-point margin, I think.
Yes, there we go. And just for people who are watching on the quad box, England 7, France 4. So Only one score in that second half so far, but long ball from...
Just going back to that previous, just the England-Ireland game that we were watching away from the
men's
commentary,
open
the
game.
men's open game, and Ireland have put a winger out to defend that long ball now, it seems.
Yeah, so it's interesting. We've not seen him on the wing in the games that we've watched. We've not watched every game, have we, though, Chris? And I think they put the tallest player on the right to left wing as England are attacking, because a lot of the England men's open players are right to left throw, so they're going to put their tallest player as Wales comes through short side. He gets it to in goal, and that's number 7, James Ainan, getting a free from his player to get another score there. So that's it, 12-6 Wales.
Yeah, Wales starting to pull away once again. But it's not clear who they're going to be playing just yet, because England are having a really stiff test against France. That's 7-4 to the English over on field 2. The feed we've got from there is about 20 seconds behind what we've got here on field 1. But both matches tapped off at the same time. Ross Taylor just gets touched. As one of the great things about touch tournaments is that everything's centrally timed, so you know when a match is starting and you know when one's finishing.
Yeah, absolutely. I just like Ross Taylor there, just to use the ball rather than his feet there. He actually stepped back into a man on. I think I like him to get on the outside of the middles and let the ball do the work, because he has got such a good pill that he should do that.
Cameron Hart was on the scoop there for Scotland. It's something that we've not seen massively.
Run away. No, referee's in the way.
We've not seen that massively from Scotland in terms of that scooping play in the same way we have from Wales. But here they come, and they're setting up, bringing fresh legs on. Owen Carroll, he's scored quite a few, and he takes the touch on just 8 metres out, gets the ball back again, looking for a dive, but Scotland are there to shut the door in his face firmly. But Carroll, the youngster, gets the ball back inside to Reece Lynch and then to Daniel Roberts. This Welsh pod is on once again. Roberts fizzing, we've seen him go through the middle, but this time he fizzes the ball out. Has he? Well, he has fizzed the ball out.
It's a touch. That was quite clever from Wales. So this time, the far Scottish winger oh no! So the winger didn't say she made the touch. So it's a score to Wales. This is very clever. So when we get this replay, we'll just talk through it. This time they look to send the sweeper, but the far link from Scotland just stands up the defender. So he can't give the ball because there's no real overlap. You see, he just steps in, he makes that touch. Dan Robert goes, yeah, I know what's happened. I'm going short side, and there's a 3-on-2, and it's a good finish. The far winger from Scotland,
Amy Reece. Amy
touch.
Reece was the scorer. The thing that's impressed me most about the long passing like that is that there's no wind up to it. So you don't know, as a defender, if the ball's going to go short, if it's going to go medium, or if it's going to go long, because it's the same action all the way through. As Scotland, they needed a try, and they've just got it. Fantastic number 7 for Douglas Johnson, the Scottish number 10. But Scotland need to hold Wales out multiple times now, and you just can't see Scotland outscoring Wales by 7-0 or 6-0 to tie things up.
No. We're just seeing on the England versus France game, I think both teams have got a score since we last gave an update. It's now England 8, France 5, with England coming on the attack. And that's 6th touch, so back to the Welsh Scottish game.
This dangerous attacking pod.
It's so good, they're so good.
Owen Carroll number 8, Reece Lynch number 13, Daniel Roberts number 10, and it's Roberts who so much has revolved around that 3, but particularly him. And Wales are now 14-7 up midway through this second half, and it's fair to say that I think this contest is pretty much over in terms of the final result, because like we say, Scotland are scoring, but they're scoring 1 to every Wales' 2. And that you just can't do that at this stage.
No, and that was the first time we've seen that score from that set-up play from Wales. What they did there, they had Owen stepping on a short side quickie, he then steps back, throws a passive, and that gets Dan Roberts on the outside. But we've got one for one in the last 3 sets. That's a Scotland score on the scoop and short side.
Yeah, we've not seen Scotland do that too much in terms of the scoop play, but here it comes, a little dummy, couple of dummy, quick pump at the ball, goes wide. Wales' wing is caught napping. Ruth Ferguson is over for the score. Lovely work score there by Scotland. It's back down to 6, but they're going to, as you say, they're going to have to stop Wales from scoring, and that is a significant challenge in itself. As Owen Carroll comes on.
Different playing partners as this time, so I think Owen will look to organise this one now, try and give him a bit more responsibility.
And asking more questions of the Scottish defence. As we said, you need to be able to adjust, and Scotland are now going to have to adjust to different, as you say, Owen Carroll.
He's so chilled, isn't he? If you watch him, like, he's like his mum and dad. They are so chilled. He's just got the ball. He's looking at different options consistently. So, you know, he's standing here. If they don't give him what he wants, he'll do something different. As he goes short side, he's got such a good pass as well. This one wasn't as his finest, and it just goes to ground. I just love watching him play, actually.
This time, Mr. Freeze's pass hits the deck.
Yeah.
The cool Owen Carroll, but
he is so calm and collected. You know, his dad for years has said to me, Ben, calm down. And maybe he's been saying, maybe Owen's been watching me over the years when he was a youngster get upset, and he's taking that cool and calmness from his dad.
Wales and Carroll getting into the faces of the Scots, and it forces a fumble, and Wales now have a fantastic position to both launch a strike play, but also to manage the clock a little bit. You know, it's now coming down to a bit of managing your resources. Maybe, you know, if you're the Welsh coach, do you look at the 6-point margin and go, okay, 8 minutes to play, should we save the likes of Daniel Roberts for the final?
Maybe they are. I think you said it's 6 points in it. Scotland won't come back here, I don't think, and they can just tick over, and now they'll be hoping for a really hard fought game on field 2, and it's still England 8, France 5, so it looks like it is a tough one, and they'll be loving that. That's a hard game.
But England are building slowly into the Welsh half. Meanwhile, Scotland are struggling to get out of theirs. Wales still getting into Scotland's faces, but here come the Scots. Ball comes off the ground to Ross Taylor, the near side winger and link combination of Catherine McHardy and Alice Malcolm Wilkinson have both done well to get Scotland onto the front foot. That's you can't overstate how important that interplay is between players when you're rotating the box on and everybody's really working to get off. If the ball goes down, you could be potentially at 6s and 7s. So you've got to keep hold of it.
I think I said to Jono on day one, the most frustrating, annoying situation is when you're about to come on, you think, we're going to do this in an attack, and someone drops a ball, you're like, it's almost a panic state. You have to just start running towards your own try line. And
Toby Phillips is adding to his own personal highlights reel. We've just seen, we saw him spring over Scotland a couple of days ago. 10,000 or so views on Instagram.
That was against France, actually.
That was against, yeah. So pinged over, and this time he's gone for another dive.
Oh, he's doing it, and you know what? He's going to be celebrating all of those tonight.
He's going to be letting us know as well.
Unfortunately for us all.
Scotland. This is a repeat of the 2018 final, this semi-final. That occasion Scotland beat Wales, but this time it's the Welsh who are firmly on top.
Good diving touch from Reece Lynch there.
And Scotland are now in scramble mode. They know that they've got to put a lot of tries past Wales in quick succession. But really, you're looking at, it's 5 minutes to play. You're looking at maybe 5 attacks. Taking about 45 seconds to a minute per attack.
Something drastic has to change for Scotland to win this game. I think Wales have just looked to go, as they go through here again, they're just so much quicker.
This time on the scoop, it's Callum Richards, and the ball's down on the ground. The arm is out, the whistle goes, and Wales have got 1.5 feet in the mixed open final, which you will see here on the live stream at 4 o'clock, whether it's the Field 1 live stream or the Quad Box. That's the third from last game in our 10 hours of uninterrupted touch here from the University of Nottingham. And again, that was a fantastic finish under pressure from the Welsh link.
Yeah, great scoop there.
So I couldn't quite catch the number.
A great scoop. The space in the middle of the park just opened up, parting of the waves, went straight through. And yeah, it was a good finish there by the far link for Wales.
Scotland build from close to their touchline, and here they come into midfield. As Catherine McHardy took the touch, and then now she's a spread play out to the left, and it's come from, though, Ewan Campbell out to Francis Campbell.
Good defence here, everyone stayed man on, there was no overlap.
And that Campbell's ball to McHardy just hits the ground. Scotland just running out of ideas in front of that structured Welsh defence. And Wales, who've got a very young team with them, and I think this is something that we said yesterday when we were watching the Ireland mixed open game against, I mean, it was against Bulgaria, to be fair, but when you see the age range of these mixed open teams now, is that this is going to be a very competitive division for years to come. Wales, this is one of their star players. He's back on again. He took a bit of a breather to Daniel Roberts, but he's back on.
Yeah, he's just scooped, he's gone short side, he's got really deep into goal. He found the pass, but they couldn't catch it. I think they were probably touched at the same time.
But Scotland traditionally have been very strong in this area. As I say, reigning European champions. That crown is going to be handed on this year. World Cup bronze medalist in 2019, so they've got a great tradition in mixed open, as do Wales. And as you say, with Wales, Ireland and England, and now France as well, all building young squads, young promising squads, this is going to be a fantastic division in subsequent European championships, and potentially becoming World Cup medalists as well.
Yeah, absolutely, that's what they're building to. We're going to have a new gold medalist in the mixed open division. I'm not sure when the last time Wales actually won a gold medal, same for England, so we're going to have a cracking game for a new gold medalist in European touch. But
Roberts this time showing his defence, Cameron Hart on the dive.
But everything is building towards 2024, wherever that World Cup is. We've got another European Championships next year, and then the World Cup. So that's what everyone builds for.
Ross Taylor, the Scottish talisman, flicks it back inside to Cameron Hart, but Wales have shut that down again.
England go through, ball down. It's still 10-5 to England. I think that might be the ball game as well there. So
2 minutes and change to play. Scotland have got a penalty, but this is now too little, too late. There's no way. There's unlike in rugby union where you get 5 points and potentially 7. There's only 1 point for a score here, and Scotland are 7 behind with a minute and a half to play. Half court, and that's a turnover play. So Wales will restart with a roll ball on the 7. No, they won't. They'll restart with a penalty for a forward pass. Doesn't matter really so much this late in the contest. Little inside step from Amberley Rook. Just gets pulled back, and the play will restart. I don't think the referees were happy with where the tap was taken, and it comes back again, and Wales will run their subbing move once again. Amberley Ruck, who scored superbly under pressure that previous Wales try. Daniel Roberts, he's been their talisman all the way through this competition, asking questions every time he comes onto the field. We thought that Wales might rest him for the end of for the final few minutes of this contest once we knew it was safe, but it wasn't. They were just mixing and matching their attacking plays, trying things out, and this time it's Grattarola finding Ainan. That passing combination worked in the opposite direction in the first half, and this time it is the number 7, James Ainan, who scores.
Yeah, Scotland are just withering a little bit here now. They've got tiry legs, and Wales just pick up, go short side. Emilio Grattarola just goes short side and finds his number 4, was it? So
I know you're going to have a full preview, but I'm going to kind of get one step ahead of Ian in this one now in terms of England-Wales. We saw that as we see Scotland.
Oh, great score! Sorry to interrupt.
That's all right. Scotland will sign off with a fantastic move, fantastic finish there from Catherine McHardy, but it's too little, too late for the Scots. So Wales, England in the final. Who have you got?
I'm grimacing here. I can pick the winners in the men's and women's. I can't pick one at the moment. What I've just seen from Wales, they are so clinical in attack. They're so good. I'm saying drop off. I'm saying drop off. I would love England to win, obviously, but I'm saying drop off because England have got so many attacking players, so do Wales. I don't think it's going to be either a big defensive win or it's going to be a high scoring going into drop off.
Jonathan Bullard, just to our left, was the proper. He was relishing that. We've had some fantastic extra time play in the English National Touch Series this year, and if you're right, then this is going to be continuing here.
I hope I've Tony Romo'd that one as well.
What you did, you even inspired.
I'm 2 from 2 this year, actually.
You even inspired. You didn't just do a Tony Romo call, Ben, earlier, but you also inspired the Hail Mary long ball coming as well, straight after the next score. So congratulations for that. I'm sure CBS's check is in the post sometime soon.
I'll be dining out tonight, like Toby will as well on these.
So thanks very much for the co-call on that, Ben. And I'm just going to hand over to Ian, who's with Jordan, and they have got Mark Croston, who is the chair of the Federation of International Touch, with them.
Hello everybody, welcome to the studio. What a game that is. So it looks like we are going to have England against Wales in the Mixed Open final, and it's going to be an absolute cracker. We'll touch on that shortly, but before we do that, we've got Mark Croston with us, the chair of the Federation of International Touch. Mark, what a treat it is to have you here. What have you made of the week so far?
Well, I think the treat is all mine, actually. I've seen some great touch on display this week, and some great competition. So individual skills and some great matchups as well. Really looking forward to the finals.
As the chair yourself, it must be very pleasing to see, and you must be proud. This is about growing the game as well, isn't it?
It's great, and there's new teams from new nations this week, new athletes who are experiencing the Euros for the first time. So with the weather as it's been a great week.
Looks like its own climate up here, isn't it, Jordan?
Where do you see the sport going? How do you see? Obviously, we've got Euros again next year. We're not really sure of the venue just yet, but where do you see the next Euros going? Where do you see touch in Europe going?
Well, it's interesting times. The COVID situation and lockdown and everything we've been through means that everything's a little bit jumbled up at the minute with tournament dates and years and so on. So it's really quite difficult to plan.